Dear friends, welcome to the Catholic Man Review Show, the place where we discuss Catholic insights as found in modern-day Catholic books. I'm your host, Vincent. One of the three pillars of Lent is prayer. Alongside that, as the semester wraps up and final assessments are on the way, prayer serves as a means for us to connect with God and to remove oneself from the stresses and busy schedules of the day. How do we even approach prayer, some of you might be asking? Well, in this episode, I share some resources that may help you in your daily prayer. This episode will take more of a show and tell format because there are simply many resources that will help you with praying. Let's start simple first, I'd say. Are you perhaps unfamiliar with the Catholic prayers, or perhaps more specifically with the English prayers? Well, for me, I grew up in a Vietnamese Catholic household, so even today, I still rely heavily on printed texts in English to assist me in praying in the English language. It is totally okay to pray with a printed text. I even encourage it because it helps you to focus on the text, specifically on the periods, on the commas of the prayer that you're reciting. The simplest option that I have, first of all, is the simple daily prayers brochure, which, if I'm not mistaken, is distributed free of charge, or, if not, at a very low price from the Ave Maria Center of Peace near Kipling and Queensway on Toronto West End. I like this because it is small and fits easily in your pocket and wallet, and contains the common prayers such as the Our Father, the Hail Mary, the Glory Be, and the Apostles' Creed. It even includes a morning offering, a night prayer, as well as a spiritual communion. That is most of the content of the brochure, and there are a few more prayers, but there's just simply a lot packed to this 8-panel pamphlet. Now, if you still want to go small, then I recommend the St. Joseph Pocket Prayer Book, which is a bit larger than the pamphlet, but it offers a lot more prayers, such as those that are derived from the Bible and prayers of the saints, and of course, beautiful illustrations in full color. Now, what if you wanted a little more than just the bare minimum, so to say, right? And perhaps you might want to have some devotions such as the Stations of the Cross, Chaplets Novenas, Examination of Conscience, perhaps. If so, I highly recommend Midwest Theological Forum's Handbook of Prayers, the student edition. There is a standard edition as well that contains a bit more content, but the student edition is a small but mighty volume as it covers a lot of content and devotions. It is small, compact, easy to put in your purse or backpack, ideal for a student on the go. Mine is, as you can see, a bit thicker than when I bought it because I often like to stuff, some prayer cards here and there. And also, the use of black and red text is quite helpful too. It's easier on the eyes than just seeing page after page of black text, which could be daunting at times. And another prayer book, though I think less ideal for travel, more for home use, is called the Manual of Prayers. It comes in a slipcase, and it's also published by Midwest Theological Forum. It was originally published for seminarians of the Pontifical North American College in Rome, and it contains a lot of the traditional prayers in English and Latin, and a whole lot of them are provided in 2-column Latin-English bilingual format. I do know that a newer edition came out last year with newer prayers written by Pope Francis, but despite the edition that you get, from what I've heard and from what I have seen myself, they are all excellent volumes. So those are some of the prayer books that I would highly recommend, but I also want to take the opportunity to speak a bit about hand missals, because I've received some questions on that. And hand missals are books that contain the order of Mass, the propers of the Mass, as well as the lectionary texts for the faithful, or the lay people, to follow along. They also help the lay people to pray with the texts of the Mass before, during, and or after Mass. But just beware, before buying any missal, that the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops use a different biblical translation for their lectionary compared to the United States Conference or that of the Conference of England and Wales. Therefore, I would recommend the following if you really want to pray with a Canadian translation. The Catholic Book Publishing Corporation publishes their annual Sunday Missal. So there is an American version, but this is the Canadian version for 2020. And you'll know because in the front page, it does state the Canadian, the liturgical texts are approved by the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops, and it's only $5 to $6 per year. A great investment. The same publisher also publishes an ornate, permanent Sunday Missal with all the readings for Sundays of year A, B, and C. Again, of the Canadian translation. This would cost you about, I think, 30 to 40 Canadian dollars. Both missals contain a section at the back filled with prayers. So it's not only a helpful tool to pray the Mass, but also to use for your own personal prayer as well. If you'd like a weekday Missal and Sunday Missal combined into one, I recommend the Daily Roman Missal, published also by Midwest Theological Forum, the same publisher of the Manual of Prayers and the Handbook of Prayers. Though, note, this one contains the U.S. lectionary readings, but I think it is an ideal volume for personal prayer and to pray along with the Mass. Perhaps not with the Canadian translation, but at least you get the main idea of the weekday and Sunday Masses. And like the other two missals published by the Catholic Book Publishing Corporation, it also contains a very thorough treasury of prayers. So, what prayer books do you use to pray with? Let us know in the comments below, and know that no matter which prayer books that you have, I hope that you pray with them and just savor those moments of prayer that you have. Thank you for joining us, and we hope to see you next time. I'm Vincent Pham, signing off on the Catholic Man Reviews. God bless.